It's been a minute since we've updated y'all on the 6.5-inch speaker pod adapters for the 2019 to current Indian Chieftain and Roadmaster. So today, I'm gonna finally give you guys an update. Honestly hoping to be a little bit further along with this project than we currently are. That is my bad. I apologize to y'all. This is something that I thought, hey, cool, I can jump right into it, get it done super easy. But life happens, things come up. I'm still trying to navigate the whole business ownership stuff, but those are all excuses. My apologies. So if you've missed our last two videos, please go back and check those out, where we explain in depth, one, what we're trying to accomplish and what the process in which we're going to do it, the whole 9 yards. What I'm going to do right now is just explain real quick. We're going to be making 2 of them, one to fit your power band style speakers, which yes, we are going to be working on a 3D printed grill for that as well, because I know that was an issue with our 6.5-inch lower speaker pods for the Pursuits and Challengers. There's no grill option for them, so we're going to make those. But more importantly, I'm trying to put these big old beefy Cicada audio style compression horn speakers. There's other companies that make them, yes, like DB Drive, Euphoria, the list goes on, Diamond Audio. So I wanted to use the Cicada to model this off of, because that's what we sell and that's what we stand behind. So let's give you all an update on where we're at with this. So I'll flip you around, show you what we got going on. Here is our Indian Chieftain fairing, and here is what I'm going to consider the start to our 6.5-inch adapter. I know it's kind of hard to see the potential behind that with it not being on the bike, but let's just see if we can. So that's not sitting in there all the way, but kind of worked out that it sat back that way. So this is what our pod's looking like so far. What I did here is we took the fiberglass part and we completely hacked it all up. As you can tell, we hacked it all the way up. And then what we did is we bolted it in there with 2 of the screws. I took this speaker, like you'd seen previously, we had taped on the paper towel in the back. And the reason for that is I wanted to give it, I know it's only like an 1/8 inch more or even a 3/16 all the way around, but it gives us just a little bit more room to angle this speaker. So what we ended up doing is we took this speaker, we bolted our speaker adapter to it, and then I held that up in there till I felt like I could cut it back further and further and further, because my goal was trying to make it as flush to this as possible, because this is going to compensate for the speaker grill as well. I wanted to try to make this as flush as possible to the, that's going to be the Speedo. The gauge over here, that's not the Speedo, my apologies, I don't remember off the top of my head if it's a Speedo or the tack, doesn't really matter. So the plan then was we figured out where we wanted it, we cut all this up, and I ended up cutting up the fiberglass to where I could adhere, hot glue this ring to the back of the fiberglass and sit it right up against the gauge here. And then I took a series of popsicle sticks all the way around this to hold it to the fiberglass. Then after that, I took speaker grill cloth and stretched it all the way around this to get the shape the best that I could. And we used a trick of, CA glue and the activator, activated it all the way around, and then took resin and just lathered it all over that material till it turned hard. And then from there, we've been building this up with Duraglass, because what I want to do is I want to get this contour nice and smooth all the way around, find all the shapes. We're going to do the Duraglass to help build up the foundation first, because it's a really heavy, it's a durable body filler. It's body filler with fiberglass. Now, I would not recommend, so let me preface this. I would not recommend just making something, packing a whole bunch of body filler in it, and sending it. I'm only doing it on this piece because this is just a prototype piece. I'm using this, I'm making this whole piece to scan it, reverse engineer it, that's it. This is a prototype item. It's the same process we did with TNA's lids. We did this exact same process for their lids, and it worked out really, really, really well. But again, these were prototypes. These are not production pieces. Now, yes, will I put this on my bike and will I test it out? Yes, but this is not a production piece. Simply prototype, get what we need, and send it. So we're gonna build up some more material down here because there's a small dip here and here. We're gonna build up a couple of areas still because we want like this area flat. Up here is pretty good. This area is good for the most part. Just down here in this corner, we're gonna continue building up on it. We're gonna get it sanded. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a mixture of kind of like a slurry of body filler with resin to make it almost like a pancake consistency, and paint it on here because then it should help level it off, and then we can lightly sand it. I want to get this looking as smooth as possible and as production as possible. That way when we scan this, we can take it in software, we can tell it how thick we want everything, and then we can go ahead and print this. That's why I'm taking so much time to make sure that this will be what we want. Let me pull this out. What we want exactly. So once we're going to keep this stuff on here for right now, I'm going to continue smoothing this part out, but the next step is going to be smoothing this out and then also figuring out the best way for this to flow from here to here. So we're going to have to thin that out and build it up a little bit. We'll do that once we get all this stuff built up and it flowing really well on the body line. We'll probably just end up grinding a lot of this down and matching that body line as best as possible. Obviously up here we've got a good amount of build up, so it was better just to build everything up. We can sand it down and smooth it out, but as you can tell here, our speaker drops right in with a little bit of room. And what I really like about this is that we got it to the point where, let's see if we can do this one hand, the magnet sticks down into the enclosure just a little bit. So the game plan for these enclosures is going to be that you're going to receive this. Haven't decided if we're going to do these painted gloss black or if these are just going to come all primed and you have to paint them yourself. But I want these to the point where you can put them here. You'll use the 4 factory bolts for the speaker. The 2 mounting tabs right here and here will just get covered up and they'll never get used again. Between those 4 bolt holes, that should be more than enough to hold these in where they need to be. And then this will be open because you're going to use the factory 5 1/4 inch enclosure. I think that's really, really, really going to help the sound of these speakers, because that's one thing Indian did really well that I think they did better than Harley is all the Indians have ported enclosures in the front. So it really helps the sound that we're getting out of these bikes. I'm absolutely thrilled that they did that. Let's talk now about, so this is actually a really good example. So this is the starting phase of the 6 1/2 inch for the power band. And as you can tell, we cut this up a lot. And there is a reason for that. So this is actually going to go just like that. So originally, if you remember, you can kind of see it here, we built these up so that way they overhung the edge all the way around. And we also brought this all the way up here, around, down up this lip and over. But you can see I cut all of that off because after thinking about it, I didn't want these speakers sitting all the way out here. We want to suck them in as tight as possible so you can see that from a side profile how thin that is. Now, yes, these will overhang on the bottom. There's no getting around that, but I wanted to keep the top profile as small as possible. So this is actually, this ring is going to be sitting right where the OEM was. This lip will obviously get cut down severely. We're going to just bring this over to here. So we're going to end up trimming this lip off all the way around, help make that transition even better. But you can kind of get a gist of what we're looking at here to be able to put a power band 6 1/2 in this. And yes, this will work for Gen 2 and 1. While we're up at Pikes Peak, we're going to grab the Gen 2s. So that way we can design the grills for both speakers. I just wanted to show y'all kind of what that's going to look like. In the next video, I will show you this process of what we did here to this speaker. That's why I didn't do it yet. That way you guys can see that process and then we'll get this one to this phase, and then together we'll get them all smoothed out. So hopefully the next video you'll see those two being final, ready to scan. Then we'll scan them, and then we'll start printing them. Again, I apologize for taking so long. There's been a lot of stuff going on. I'm not going to bore you with the details or the excuses of why Davidson Audio is taking so long on this. We're a small shop. We're growing. We're learning every day. I'm learning every day. I know Bill is. It's just part of business. So we're pushing through on this. We are leaving for Pikes Peak, Indian. Actually, the day I drop this video, I'm traveling up there. So we're going to be there, and then we're also going to be in Minnesota with the crew of Ride Culture, Riding Fish, Corey, my other installer up there, training them, working with Lloyd Greer at both the St. Paul and Twin City dealership, and then also another shop up north. So it's gonna be a busy next 2 weeks, but it's good. Business is growing. We're reaching out more and more to y'all. So absolutely love it. I want to address a couple of questions that I've been getting. One, a lot of people have been like, hey, what about the 18s or the 17s and the 16s? I don't want to guarantee anything yet that these will just drop right in. I have a feeling it's gonna be very close. But what we are doing is I want to finalize these for the 19 to newer. We'll get these prototypes done. We'll make sure they fit. We love the fit and the finish and the flow. We'll get them scanned in, and once they're scanned in and we start printing them, and we're like, all right, cool, we're good with the molds. I will take the mold. We'll go to the 18 and older bikes. We'll test fit them and see if any modifications need to be done. And if they do, we'll modify the mold for the other bikes. We'll do the same process. We'll scan them. We'll get them out. So just know once the 19 to 24 or the 25s, we get them in production and working, the 18 and older are not much far behind. So just please be patient. There's a lot going on here, a lot of learning. The 3D scanning and printing is going to be new to me. I just want to do it that way to ensure the best quality control that we can do for y'all. And then after that, we're going to print a couple. I'm going to get them out to a couple of customers that already have our audio systems that I know ride a lot, because I want a lot of miles on these. I want to make sure they hold up. I don't want to produce something and then you guys have consistent issues with them. So we're going to be doing our due diligence there. But like I said, I'm shooting for the goal end of this year, beginning of 2025. You will have these shipping out to y'all. So just please be patient. October, we're going to be hitting it hard, getting these done and out there and testing them out for y'all. So if you guys have any other questions about these or what process we're going to do, or you have insight on how we can make them better or what you'd like to see, drop your comments in the videos. I am spending more time making sure I go back, read the comments, respond to y'all, and make sure you guys know that we do care what you say. So please drop your comments in the videos. I will get back to you, or shoot us an email, brandon@davidson-audio.com, or even give us a call at the shop, 607-800-1032. I'd be more than happy to talk with you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it's a good update for y'all. Please stay tuned for our following videos while we're up in Pikes Peak, while we're up in Minnesota. You're not going to want to miss that. Pikes Peak, Indian is doing their 5-year anniversary this Saturday, September 14th. Make sure y'all are there. Meet us here. Myself, Bill at Davidson Audio will be there. Riding Fish, Kevin will be there. It's going to be a great time. So please make sure you go to Pikes Peak, Indian this Saturday, September 14th. Sorry, a lot on my mind. I'm Brandon with Davidson Audio. If you're looking for the best aftermarket audio solution for your Indian, Harley, motorcycle period, make sure you check us out here in beautiful Panama City, Florida, or we'll ship you the audio package to you. God bless all of you.